Everyone who speaks has an accent. If you think you're the exception, you're wrong. And insisting that you actually don't have an accent or that your hometown speaks unaccented English can actually lead to some pretty dangerous rhetoric. To say that you speak English without an accent is to imply that there is an unaccented variety of English that exists, and that falls into linguistic prescriptivism, the idea that language isn't defined by how it's used, but by some arbitrary external set of rules. And the reason why linguists don't like linguistic prescriptivism is because it doesn't actually represent how language is used in the real world. Sure, there are linguistic governing bodies like the Spanish and French academies that aim to prescribe the use of language, but they generally don't hold that much influence over speakers of Spanish and French. Our use of language is dictated by how that language is used around us, not by what other people tell us to do. And so when looking at language through that lens, it becomes obvious that everyone has an accent, because to the vast majority of speakers of your language, you speak with an accent. I'm from South Jersey. The vast majority of English speakers aren't, and so they perceive me as speaking with an accent. Now, the reason why I said this rhetoric can be dangerous is because linguistic prescriptivism can often lead to stigmatization, and stigmatization can often lead to linguicide, the intentional erasure of a language for political reasons. When we accept that our use or understanding of a language should be dictated by those in power, it becomes very easy for them to stigmatize forms of a language that they see as lesser, which eventually leads to erasure. A great example of this would be the residential school system in Canada, where Indigenous children were punished for speaking their Indigenous languages, eventually leading to a lot of these languages dying out. To say that there is an unaccented language falls into the same prescriptivist worldviews that fuel the Canadian residential schools. Because East Coast English is just as different from West Coast English as West Coast English is from East Coast English. So who do we give the power to decide which is accented and which isn't?